And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New Earth Tarot. Here I am in my brand new place. I have moved. I'm in a brand new location. It's a beautiful space. It's a condo. And I was once living in Surrey, British Columbia. Now I'm living in Langley, British Columbia. So just finally got everything moved in. It was a bit of a challenging move, but got everything taken care of. And I'm happy to be in this brand new space. It's a brand new energy. It feels very vibrant, feels very alive, feels very strong. And of course, I had a really wonderful interview with Janine last week, right? So that video has been amazing. It's gotten over 70,000 views. So I'm really glad that people were able to tune in with Janine. The good news is I'm going to be bringing Janine back every month. Okay, so we're going to have another interview with Janine in January. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to her about that. And of course in February, March, etc. So for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be bringing Janine back every single month here on New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. So that'll be a great treat. And I know she's doing some great work with Jean-Claude as well too on Rumble. So make sure you check that out. And just give your love and thanks to Janine. She did an incredible job. She did some really great readings on our interview. If you haven't checked out the interview, you should. It's definitely one of the most popular videos on my channel just a few days ago. And like I said, there's over 70,000 views. So I'm extremely happy with that. And I'm just happy that our message has been getting out there as well too. So before we go ahead and get started with today, with some tarot readings, we're going to go ahead firstly and start off with some announcements. Beautiful sacred geometrical clothing to detoxify, rejuvenate, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And of course, I am going to be taking some more bookings here. I am currently on break between mid-December and mid-January. But once I get back to private sessions in mid-January, I am booking. So whether you want to do private sessions or 3-question private email session with me, and of course distance healing requests. Also, I am still doing distance healing requests over the holidays because I kind of find that to be my priority service. So distance healing by donation available. Private sessions, 3 questions by email, also available. And of course, I do tarot readings and higher self-communication, both through the private sessions and the 3-question sessions by email. So just go to newearthteachings.com and you can book that together. So more of an update relating to the brand new company called Etherics. Like I said, it's going to be taking the place of the Healing Code cards. I am currently working on a new revamped version of the 3 Healing Code card decks, the body deck, the mind deck, and the energy deck. But like I said, this will not affect anybody who has the Healing Code cards already. There will still be work. You guys will still be getting updates. When I do Healing Code card code updates, you guys will still be getting it. So everybody who has the Healing Code card originals, you're completely fine, no problem whatsoever. But I am going to be revamping the deck. I am going to be putting the Etherics card decks on Amazon here in the next couple of months as well too. So basically I'm starting to run this new company. My girlfriend and I are going to be running this company, Etherics. She's going to be doing a lot of the financial stuff and a lot of the designing. I'll be doing designing as well too. So there will be 2 of us running this company, and we're just going to really work very, very hard to get this company off our ground, because our goal is to take this incredible Healing Code technology and give it to the entire world, right? Make it available to the entire planet. And so I'm very, very driven in doing that. That is going to be a big focus of mine as we get into the new year. So Etherics is coming along really well. I have some new ideas coming together, not just the ether bed, okay? The ether bed is incredible. And I'm getting the website all ready. Everything's going great. The Etherbed is coming together. And then on January 2nd, I'm going to be registering the business. And then so probably between January 5th and January 10th, between that time, I'll be launching the early bird of Etherics, and the Etherbeds will be ready. Now, as I've talked about the Etherbeds, you guys have heard me talk about the energy deck, right, with those two particular cards, the positive polarity collector and the negative polarity receiver. Well, the Etherbed is based on that technology. It's based on using the residual energy of your solar plexus to heal everything. Heal everything, right? Your organs, your glands, your bodily system, your emotional body, your mental body, going into your akasha and clearing away cords, helping you to get a really good night's sleep, going very deep into a really good night's sleep, having vivid dreams or lucid dreams for those of you who are experienced with lucid dreaming, balancing out your brain waves, going into your akashic records, doing clearing. This bed is going to be unlike anything you guys have ever seen before. Nobody has ever put together a bed like this. And this is my intention, is to make it an all-in-one bed, to make it as close to a med bed as possible. Okay? So, of course, I'm not looking to regrow limbs or anything like that, but making it very, very close to a med bed. And all it is just a simple bed kit. It doesn't even look like much when you get it. It's like, okay, I got some pillowcases, I got a bed sheet, and I got a duvet cover. Okay, well, it's nice, it's kind of simple. But once you put that on your bed, my God, you're going to have an incredible experience. You will not want to get out of bed. You won't want to leave your bed. It's kind of my dilemma when I wake up every single morning, because I have an Etherbed myself as a prototype. Both my girlfriend and I have one. We don't want to leave the bed. You just get into the bed, you're just so comfortable, and you feel so snuggled with your own living prana, and everything's just being healed in your body. I'll give you guys a little bit of a success story as well, too, just from my own personal take. Before I had the Etherbed, I had problems with my calf muscles and my lower tendons because I would do a lot of sprinting, and I would get shin splints as well, too. And I would have really tight, really stiff tendons. My calf muscles would get really, really sore as well, too. When I went on the Etherbed, within less than 2 weeks, shin splints are gone. Tension from the tendons are gone. Calf muscle ache and sore, all gone. My legs are completely 100% healed from the Etherbed. Okay, and I didn't have to do anything. I'm just laying in bed and having a good night's sleep. Your body is being healed, and like I said, that's basically our nature, right? We go into sleep and we start healing our body. Well, when you have an Etherbed, it basically amplifies that by a factor of 10, even up to a factor of 20, because you can also amplify the Etherbed at the same time. So I'm really excited to launch this product with you guys. Like I said, it'll be between January 5th and January 10th. Like I said, I'm just getting all the bells and whistles together, making sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, getting all of that taken care of, and the Etherbed is going to launch. So again, I won't take up too much more time, but it's really, really exciting. I'm super excited to launch the Etherbed. I have new ideas coming together, and my goal is just to launch this all over the world so that everybody can now have a healing item, a healing product in their house that they can go to, and if they're not feeling well, go lay down on the Etherbed, right? If you're not feeling well, use the healing code cards, right? There's going to be lots of different things. Someone asks, how much will it cost? Well, there's going to be an early bird special, okay? So between January 5th and January 10th. If we look at there's basically about 4 or 5 sizes. So we have a twin size, we have a full size, we have a queen size, and we have a king size. We also have a California king. That's like the really big king size. So there's 5 sizes. So they start off at $111, okay? And so that's the early bird price. $111 for the twin, and it goes all the way from 122, 133, 144, 155, okay? Then after the early bird, then it just goes up to 133, starting at $133. But with the early bird, it'll be 111, okay? So, of course, putting some divine synchronistic numerological numbers behind the pricing. And it's shipped from China, okay? So you guys will have it shipped overseas, but you have an option for fast shipping or for express shipping. There'll be a lot of shipping options as well too, because it is going to be shipped out through a third-party vendor, okay? So I'll have more details with that when we get closer to January. but I just wanted to give you guys this really awesome news about Etherics. Okay, so final announcement before we get into the tarot, because I do want to get into this. Everything within the New Earth Teachings channel is backed up here onto Odyssey. So you can go into the video description, odyssey.com/@NewEarthTeachings, and you can follow our backup channel as well too. Okay, so I'll stop talking about the announcements and we'll get right into the discussion today. So your questions. So guys, if you have any questions, please make sure that your questions are semi-personal or general in nature. Please no personal questions. Okay, that's what private sessions are for. So please just make sure your questions are semi-personal and general in nature. And we're going to start off in the chat here. Again, welcome everybody. Good to see you all. Like I said, I hope you all enjoyed my interview with Janine. It was phenomenal. So many people were so happy to see her again. I was happy to see her once again. It's been a while. It's unfortunate that Janine's YouTube channel has been shut down a while back, but with her coming back here every single month, at least you guys will be able to see her on YouTube again through my channel. All right, so let's get into some questions here. So let's start off firstly with Aaron's question. Aaron says, "Hi Brad, what will Canadians experience next year as a general financial outlook?" Okay, I can't remember if Janine maybe talked about this. I think she might have a little bit, but we'll look into a little bit more here about what will Canadians experience next year on a financial level as a general financial outlook. Okay, so let's take a look at that for 2023. A lot of shakeup. Okay, a lot of shakeup is happening, but the good news is this is the past card, right? There's been a lot of changes. Like I said, I think the counter forces are pretty much running a lot of the things here on a governmental level and on a financial level with Canada, right? A lot of the crooks, a lot of the corrupt have basically been replaced, have been taken out of the picture, right? A lot of them, there may be some who are, again, doppelgangers as well too. But we're seeing a victory card here. So this is representing victory of the past. So it looks like a lot of the inner workings that have been taking place through the political and financial arenas for Canada have gone through a tremendous shift. Okay, right now we're still playing out a narrative though. A narrative is still being played out, right? So it's kind of like we're still kind of in the cold, but this is all part of the process. Like I said, this happens because, guys, it's a movie, right? Even Janine was telling about this as well too. If you go back and you watch her interview, you're saying all of this is just a movie, guys. Whenever you're looking at elections, whenever you're looking at these financial agendas, these political agendas on the news, it's all a movie. It's all a narrative, right? So it's made to look like it's bad because it's basically trying to wake people up. This is all disclosure. Whenever we're seeing all this stuff coming out on the television, on the mainstream media, in all these different ways, this is indicating a type of disclosure. It's watered down. It's a very watered down type of disclosure, but it's a disclosure nonetheless, okay? A lot of old plans are falling apart. A lot of the old thieves, the old corrupt, in that sense, are being taken out of the picture, and plans are moving. So there's a lot of different shifting going around here. So in regards to financial planning, like I said, we are preparing for a quantum financial system, okay? Remember, as I talked about during Janine's interview, is I asked you guys to go to the banks and start asking them the question, are you guys ready for a quantum financial system rollout? Did you guys do that? Right? Make sure you go to your banks. Go to your banks and ask them that question. What about a quantum financial system rollout? Do you guys have the software for that? Do you guys have the technology? Are you guys prepared for a quantum financial system rollout? See what they say. When I was interviewing Janine, I was seeing some chat here, some people on the chat. They're saying, yes, I've asked people. I've asked my bankers that question. They said, yes, we're ready. We have everything ready for a quantum financial rollout. We have the software. We have new hardware coming in. Everything here in the bank is ready for a quantum financial system rollout. It's already taking place. It's just a matter of flicking that switch, and that's what's going to happen. Okay. So this is going to indicate a new perspective, a new flipping of things, turning the narrative upside down. And we're going to see a new rollout. We're going to see a new financial system. Yes, for Canada, not just for Canada, though, for the entire world. The entire world is going to be completely shifted into this quantum financial system. Okay. But there are still, again, narratives. There are still, again, agendas with a lot of the corrupt still trying to pedal themselves forward and thinking, oh, we'll try and create a digital currency and we'll try to be in control of that digital currency. Good luck. That's not going to happen. Okay, they've certainly had a lot of plans with that, with them trying to roll out their own type of digital currencies, and we're going to see how that completely falls apart as well too. So we're getting out of the rough waters, and again, this is of course looking into Canada, the near future. So this will probably be the next 2 to 3 months. Okay, we're sailing away from how rough things were. So things are looking to be getting better for Canada. Okay, I think that Castro Avatar isn't going to be around much longer. Okay, I think he's going to be out of the picture here very, very soon. But they have to kind of play the narrative relating to his departure. Like I said, never take what you guys see on the mainstream media seriously. Okay, it's nothing but a facade. It's nothing but a soap opera. It's nothing but a movie. There's a lot more stuff that's happening behind the scenes that's far more interesting than the clown show and the three-ring circus that you guys are seeing in front of the scenes, that you're seeing on the television, even with a lot of the internet and the media and all that sense, even with a lot of alternative stream reporters and stuff like that. They're still hanging on to old narratives, right? They're not looking behind the scenes. When you guys have people who are looking behind the scenes and actually see what's happening behind the scenes, that is much more crystal clear about what's actually taking place. So from what this reading is saying here is that everything's pretty much already ready to go. They're just kind of playing out a narrative right now because, of course, this is an in front of the scenes card, right? It's playing out a narrative. It looks like it's terrible. But again, while the right hand is up here, the left hand is back here doing something else, okay? And that's exactly what this card represents. This is the hope or fear card. And again, this is representing the idea, well, things are shifting. Things are shifting. It's kind of a combination of the two. It all depends on how you look at it. But again, the narrative is about to flip. We're about to see some different changes, and we're going to get out of these unsettling waters pertaining to a financial mess, right? Political mess and all that stuff. Transitional government is already taking place in Canada. Okay, so that's what's taking place altogether regarding your question, Aaron. All right, thank you for your question. Okay, this one here is from Samarjit Singh. Samar says, hey brother, can you ask the tarot if the US dollar would collapse or not? Okay, are we going to see the collapse of the US dollar? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm sure that's a big question in quite a few people's minds. Are we going to see what's happening with the US dollar? Is that going to be collapsing here? Yeah, it is definitely going to be collapsing. Okay, so basically I would say everything that represents the fiat dollar, okay, is going to be on its way. It looks like it's already been replaced, okay? The US dollar pretty much, in regards to what it is doing in front of the scenes, is just being kind of a tactic, right? It's just part of the narrative. But basically not just the US dollar, but pretty much of the currency, the fiat currency on this planet is going to be cleaned out. This is all representing opportunity, new growth, new transformation, right? So we're looking again, the new financial system here in the past is already ready to go, okay? It's been ready now for quite some time. This is representing, again, new change, right? So we're seeing the clouds on the horizon, we're seeing new shifts, we're seeing new thought, we're seeing new transformation, we're seeing new transition taking place. So everything pertaining to the fiat currency needs to collapse. Okay, everything relating to the idea of the stock market. Like I said, everything relating to stock market crashes are engineered. Okay, those are all intentional. Those are artificial. It's an artificial system, so therefore it's going to be having artificial collapses. Okay, there's going to be opportunities for new growth. Like I said, new systems coming together, right? So we're going to see new banks coming in, very much like what I just talked about with Canada, right? New systems coming in. And we're looking at a quantum financial system rollout. Will there be legal tender that will still be used during this quantum financial system rollout? Yes. Yes, you'll still be able to use cash. There may be, again, different banknotes. New banknotes may be coming in, but it'll be kind of very, very hush-hush in the dark, right? You may just start to see some new barcodes or numerical changes on it or something like that, but it will still look somewhat similar, okay? And so the whole idea behind the scenes is that everything that represented the fiat US dollar, like I said, is in the corrupt's hands. right? This represents the idea of the Dark Cabal. So the Dark Cabal pertaining to their hold, their stranglehold, because they're still trying to hold on to their fiat currency for dear life while they're about to be put to rest. Okay, so the corrupt and the Dark Cabal representing everything that surrounds the fiat currency. This is basically their grave. Okay, so they're basically about to be put into the dirt. Let's take a look at an extra cloud. Yep, so things are proceeding. It's a bit of a slow move here because, like I said, especially the United States. The United States still is in a process of getting cleaned out because it's been so incredibly heavily infiltrated by so much of the corrupt. We've always heard that term, draining the swamp. Well, this is an enormous swamp to drain. And it's still being drained. The good news is that it is being drained. But it's going to take some time for it to be completely drained, right? So again, we're really just looking at the idea of seeds being planted here. And like I said, everything pertaining to the US dollar in regards to its fiat nature is going to expire. Okay, it's going to be put into the dirt. But there still will be the avatar, you could say, of the US dollar, but it's going to be much more equivocal to the idea of the quantum financial system that's coming. So this is, again, what I'm getting quite a bit, guys, is relating to the idea of the quantum financial system rollout. Janine's been getting that a lot too. Like I said, if you guys have not watched our interview, please watch it. It's a really great interview. We cover a lot of topics in it. It's outstanding. Had such a great time with her. Okay. But she also covers this as well too. Everything I'm saying, guys, Janine's saying the exact same thing. Okay. And that's when you know something is quite legit, when two or more people are getting the same kind of information. Because I go to Spirit, Janine goes to Spirit, and we both get the exact same kind of information, right? We may tell it differently, but the answer is still the same. Okay. So when you have two or more people doing that, that's where there's some great legitimacy coming together, because everything that she's saying, I'm just constantly nodding my head. So yep, it's exactly what I'm getting to. It's exactly what I'm getting to, right? So yes, big changes are coming. Quantum financial system rollout is imminent here in 2023. As I've talked about, the year 2023 is the year of reset. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a video here, probably before the end of the year, the end of 2022, about the first quarter of 2023, the year of reset. Here we are in 2022, the year of action, and then we're moving into 2023, the year of reset. So I'll have more on that very soon. Okay, this one here is from Susan. Susan says, question, and if you guys want me to, if you guys have a priority question, just you leave a donation. Okay, leave a donation in the chat. If you have a really urgent question that you want to ask me, you can get first in line through a donation, okay? Susan says, question, will New Earth be on this planet and of a different dimension or off this planet? Any updates on timing? Will we have a warning beforehand? Okay, it's quite a few questions, Susan, but I'll do my best to cover it. Okay, so basically, a lot of the New Earth that I've been talking about, right, of course, my channel is called New Earth Teachings. It's kind of an interesting thing. As far as this dimension, this physical dimension goes, yes, we are moving into a new Earth pertaining to this dimension. Now, there is also another Earth in a higher dimension. I've visited that Earth. Okay, this is what we often refer to as fourth density Earth. Okay, it is available to everybody who wants to connect with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a strategy about how you can visit that new Earth. Okay, and it's just a very, very simple meditation. Okay. Now, basically, what we're doing is we're creating a collective, kind of like a collective gesture here that represents the new Earth. So in this particular way, this gesture here I'm giving you, which is a simple mudra, would represent the gesture of the new Earth. So if you put this together in your mind and saying the gesture I'm doing here right now represents my intention to connect to the fourth density Earth. And I want you just to hold it like this. When you're meditating, okay? Doing heart rate variability breath, 4 seconds in through the nose, 6 seconds out through the nose, 10 times, okay? And you're just holding this gesture. Okay? So the gesture you're doing is your own symbolism of you intending to connect to the new Earth. And what I would suggest is doing this meditation at least 1 hour before you go to bed. Okay? And I want you to spend some time just doing heart rate variability breathing. And then I want you to do a 5-minute focus. Okay, I've talked about 5-minute focus meditation on my channel as well too. So while you're doing this, you're doing heart rate variability. You do 10 rounds of that. And now 5 minutes of focus I'm just seeing the new earth. So I may see an earth that looks brighter and more radiant and more illuminating than this one. I may start to see kind of more of an indigenous kind of earth where everybody is in cooperation, everybody's working together. I will see much more of an animated earth where everything around me just feels like it's moving and it's alive, because that's exactly what I saw in the new earth. Okay, I'm seeing extraterrestrials working alongside humans. I'm seeing off-worlders coming upon this planet, and they're working together with humanity, and we're sharing that earth, right? So it's kind of like what you see here behind me of the goddess, right? We're seeing that beautiful new earth, and everybody's in cooperation, everybody's in harmony. There's no lack, right? You're able to basically just manifest everything out of the ethers. Very much like what I'm teaching you guys about surrendering and releasing. Well, that's exactly how they live on the new earth. They're able to just to manifest all these things. All these synchronicities just come together with them. They put all these intentions in. All these things just come into being. It's very much like a dream plane. You're intending for manifestations of lumber, for example, coming in to build a home, and no trees are getting cut down. You're actually able to manifest that lumber, right? So nothing of the nature around you is being harmed. And I was seeing that. I was seeing Native Americans building villages. I was seeing them building cabins and being able to basically manifest anything that they needed. I was seeing off-worlders in the new earth, right? Being able to work together with humanity, also building different types of domiciles and structures as well too. There were ships in the sky as well. And it was all just very normal. It was all commonplace. It was no big deal. Okay? You had reptilians there. You had avians there. You had hybrids there walking around. No big deal. Big deal. Okay, well, you're off-worlders there. Yeah, who cares? Big deal. We're all sharing the earth. It doesn't matter. You couldn't do that on this earth. That's the difference between where we're going to. Okay, so we're kind of, this earth I would refer to as the transitional earth. When we're talking about the new earth, we're talking about the fourth density earth. Okay, we're talking about the higher earth, the higher world. Okay, and so like I said, just holding that gesture and doing that 5-minute focus, right? Even just put a timer on your phone, timer on your watch. Okay, 5 minutes just focusing on everything that I've just described to you about that new earth, and then just ending that and saying, I wish to visit this new earth in dream time tonight. Okay, good. Your meditation is done. Now, go to sleep. Especially when you have an ether bed, you will really experience it. The great thing about the ether bed as well, too, is your dreams become so much more vivid. Every single night that I've been using the ether bed, my dreams have become so vivid, so strong, so memorable, and I'm able to recall every single detail. I could not do that before when I didn't have an ether bed. Okay? So ether bed is doing that for me. It gives you dream recall. It gives you full vividness. And like I said, if you're experienced with lucid dreaming, you can use that. The ether bed assists you with that as well too, going into lucid dreaming states. Okay? It's a very powerful technology that's coming. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. So I'm happy to tell you guys about it. Okay? So that's what I can share with you, Susan, about that. It's not about getting a warning. Guys, this is not about a buzzer. Okay? And thinking that, we're going to go off planet. If there is a planet, is there a buzzer? No, guys. There's no buzzer. There's no end game, countdown clock or anything of that nature, okay? Spirit doesn't work like that. Think about it. Like I said, when I'm doing healing on you guys, when you guys are getting healing work done on you, you don't have a buzzer going off in your body and saying, okay, this is all of a sudden better. This is all of a sudden better. This is all of a sudden, no. It's silent. It's silent and seamless. You don't know what's coming, right? That's what's so beautiful about the idea of visiting a new earth, of being in this transitional earth. Okay, so you have the transitional earth, which is here in the third density, and you have the higher earth in the fourth density as well too. But everything just flows, right? It's not about having buzzers. It's not about having warning labels. Warning of what? There's nothing to be warned of. Warning that you're uplifting yourself. Warning that you're going free. Warning that you're filled with love. There's no warnings for that. You don't need that stuff. Okay? So this is where you're just opening up your heart and you're feeling everything. Be present. Be here and now. That's how you know things are changing, when you're present. Okay? Thank you, Susan, for your questions. Okay, so like I said, guys, if you have an urgent question, you can just feel free to hit the donation button here on the chat. Okay? And that will put you first in line. All right? Otherwise, I'm just reading the questions as they come. Okay. So Sabrina says, Brad, will Germany be in chaos the next weeks to a couple months ahead? Here, everything seems out of control. Okay, I've actually just recently done, so I don't really need to do this. Okay, I don't really need to put a tarot on this because I've already read Germany. Okay, Germany is going to be going through some hiccups here over the next couple of months because you are still working through transitional leadership, right? You're working through the idea of, it's kind of like the tides are shifting. Okay, but I did look at this a couple of weeks back pertaining to Germany. So yes, you guys are going to be going through some challenges. You guys, again, just need to have more exposures coming together, okay? There needs to be more revealing of what's happening through the governmental channels, the political channels, okay? So we're seeing basically a lot of these old leaders being phased out. The people basically have to have that thought, like I said, is we're clearing away all of that debris. We're clearing away all this old corruption because they are trying to really pressure upon people. The idea of vaccinations, of mandates, even again, this change of financial system that's going to impact Germany as well too. There's going to be a lot of resistance towards that. You guys have to play it out, okay? So you guys have to really come together, work together, be with your soul tribes, okay? And like I said, as we start moving into the new year, you're going to start seeing all that phase out, okay? So probably around January, February, maybe March at the latest, we'll start to see again more intense transitional government taking place, a lot of transformations relating to governmental authority taking place, a lot of abolishing of these old mandates taking place, but it's going to take a couple of months for Germany, okay? I've also felt the same for Sweden. I've also felt the same for Switzerland. I've also felt the same for Australia. I've also felt the same for New Zealand, okay? All of those countries I mentioned are basically all going through the same thing, okay? A lot of you guys want to ask me what's going on in your country. Guys, it's all the same, okay? Some countries are a little more ahead than the others, but believe me that every single country on the planet is going to go through this transitional shift. None are spared, okay? So some are going quickly, some are going a little bit more slowly. It's kind of like the tortoise and the hare here, right? Canada is actually coming together very, very speedily, very quickly, okay? Canada is moving ahead at great stride, okay? There will be some other ones. Japan is starting to move ahead quite well, okay? Mexico is starting to move ahead quite well. But again, if we're seeing a lot of these European countries, that's where a lot of this concentration of corrupt are, and they're being weeded out. It's like I've also talked about when I was talking to Janine about the idea of Switzerland, because a lot of them are hanging, or a lot of the old corrupt have a nest in Switzerland, and they're basically about to be forced out of it. Okay, we did a reading on that as well too during Janine's interview. So a lot of things are being weeded out. We're just weeding out the garden, guys. We may not have gotten over to these weeds yet, but they're going to be pulled. And when I mean they're going to be pulled, they're going to be pulled out by its roots. They're going to be pulled out by the source, the bulb, right? So again, we're not quite finished weeding out the entire gardening, but there are volunteers in that garden pulling out these big, ugly, nasty weeds. They're all being pulled out. Just some are still over here, so I haven't got to that yet. I haven't got to that. We're getting there. We're getting there, right? And so like I said, every single country is going to be affected by this transition. Every single one. Not a single stone is going to be left unturned. The entire world is being reseeded, right? We're putting in seeds into the dirt. Everything is going to change, guys. Nothing on this planet is going to be exempt from changing. Every country will be affected. Every single one. Okay? Please keep that in mind. And like I said, the most important thing, like I'm not going to be able to get to every single country in a single sitting here with the webcast. But again, I want you just to kind of tune in. Just tune into the heart of your country. Feel where things are going, right? So I'm tuning into Germany. It's actually a very, very positive process of what's taking place right there. They're weeding out a lot of debris. They still have to run the narrative quite a bit because it's all about trying to wake up as many people as possible, getting people together, getting united in the same feeling. And as soon as people start doing that, all these things start falling apart. The only reason why these things prolong themselves is because people are still uncooperative with each other. They're still in division. They're still dividing. They're still feeling separated. Okay, so that's exactly why they say, okay, let's push it more. Let's push it more. Let's push it more. Let's give the intention of feeling that people's freedoms are being taken away, right? And let's push that harder and harder and harder and harder until they start to come together. That's exactly what's happening for Germany, for Sweden, for Switzerland, for New Zealand, for Australia. right? Quite a few of these countries. But it's all part of helping to wake us up, to light that fire under the butt and get us to stand up, okay? And working together with soul tribes. A lot of things are going to be shifting here specifically in 2023. Still going to be some shaky ground. Like I said, I wish I could say to you guys that 2023 is like the godsend year. All of this will collapse. All of this will be finished. No, I'm sorry to tell you it's not, okay? We're going to be making a lot more headway. We're going to be going a lot more forward in a very strong way. But as long as you guys keep feeling susceptible, that you're looking at everything in front of the scenes and thinking that's what's actually going on, and you're going to be very disappointed with things. That's why you guys are panicking, because you're looking at all these things in front of the scenes and thinking that's exactly what's happening. No, it's not. That's the three-ring circus. That's the narrative. You got to look at what's behind all those things, because that's what's really going on. All right? Thank you for your question. This one is from Co-Create Hippie. How can we send healing to people with real psychological issues who are in pain and as a result unjustly hurt others with their words and actions? Guys, stop trying to be responsible for other people's problems. It's not your situation to deal with, okay? All that you are able to do is just send love and compassion and be there for people who are dear to you, okay? You got to stop getting out of this headspace of thinking that you need to come into somebody's life and fix them, okay? That is the wrong approach. As long as you do that, you are binded in their chains, because now you feel responsible for them. You feel responsible and think, well, they're completely impaired. They don't know what they're doing. So I need to come in and I need to go fix their problems, okay? And you're going to be in the exact same rut as them. The reason why you guys are thinking that and saying, well, I want to try and speed people along. I want to try and get them to wake up so that they can see what's happening in this world so we can all get out of this hellhole. That's the wrong approach, okay? It's not about that. You are still looking at people out here. There is no people out here. It's all you. Get yourself in order. Get yourself in harmony. Work on yourself. Stop worrying about what other people are going through. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help them. Because if I'm going up to you, Co-Create Hippie, and say, oh yeah, Co-Create Hippie, you don't really know what you're doing. You're an emotional mess, and I need to take care of you. How is that going to make you feel? Right? Or you're going to be dependent on me and feel like I have to take care of you. And if something messes up, then you can always just blame me if something goes wrong. Well, that's the exact same mentality as if you're approaching anybody else like that. Then they become hopelessly dependent upon you because, oh, I'm a screw-up, and I have all these problems with me. I have all these physical, mental, emotional problems. But Co-Create Hippie will take care of everything for me. He's my godsend. He's my God. I'll get him to take care of everything. But then something messes up, and now they have hopeless dependency upon you, and now you're taking on their baggage, and now all of you are miserable. Okay? That is not the answer. The answer is just to have love and compassion. Stop seeing people as being impaired, that they need to be fixed. Okay? The only reason you're seeing that is because these are the type of people that you're bringing in through yourself. You're seeing people in that sense who are just completely fraught of emotional and mental problems, okay? Because you have it, right? You have these emotional dilemmas. You have these mental dilemmas, and you keep bringing these people into your life that have the same. Rather, work on yourself. Heal yourself. Take care of yourself, because you are the only one in your life that you can change. Can't change anybody else. It's not possible, right? But no matter how many times I say this, people still think to change another person is possible. Okay, well, go ahead and try. It's not going to work. So Co-Create Hippie, the most important thing here to do is love everybody. Okay, just love everybody as you love yourself. And that's the greatest gift that you can do for everybody. When I'm doing healing, guys, I'm not doing it. Brad is not healing anybody. Brad can't do any healing. Brad is nothing and nobody. It is spirit through this vessel that makes it happen. It's standing in the authority of the presence of the divine. And that is what's making the difference. Okay? And you have to really walk down that road. If you don't know what I'm saying, then you're never going to get this. Right? But that's the whole idea. Just have love and compassion for people. Don't walk around this planet thinking that you need to fix people, because that's going to put you in a rut. Okay? Very important to remember. Okay, I had a $10 question here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, yeah, Lydia. Lydia here had a question. Lydia says, why is Mr. B now investing in Africa? Do you guys remember what Janine was talking about last week about South Africa? A lot of the corrupt are holding on to South Africa, or pretty much Africa in general, because Africa is rich in resources. Okay? There is gold everywhere. Okay? I've been to South Africa. I know exactly how much gold is everywhere. Africa would probably be the most mineral-rich continent of the entire planet. And they have investments there. Okay? Guys, it's not about Mr. B. It's not about the Biden avatar. That guy has no power at all. He's an actor. Okay? He's been in movies. There's been other Biden avatars as well too. This is not about Mr. B. He has no authority whatsoever. He's not even a president. Okay? It's nothing but a phony, fake facade of an old narrative. It's not about him. It's like me saying, okay, well, I'm going to go do something, but I'm not going to use my face. I'm going to have this card up here, and this card is going to go ahead and make the deal. But I can't see the person behind the card, right? I'm just using this avatar to go ahead and buy this thing, to take care of this thing. Does this guy actually have the ownership of what I just bought? No, I do. But I'm using an avatar. And that is exactly what that Biden avatar is all about. He's completely useless. Okay? He has no authority whatsoever. He's a patsy. He's a puppet. Okay? He has no power whatsoever. It's the people behind him that are pulling the strings. They are basically holding on to Africa because it is such a resource-rich continent. And they don't want to lose that. They have all kinds of investments. They have all kinds of resources and projects that they're doing there. And of course, that is in the process right now of being shut down too. Everything that they are trying to do, everything that they're trying to peddle, everything that they're trying to plan and scheme is being shut down behind the scenes. But you're not going to get that on CNN. You're not going to get that on MSNBC. We're seeing again how the Ukraine is being taken down through a lot of the corrupt. And boy, have they been playing the victim card with the Ukraine. I'm not talking about the citizens, but I'm talking about the underground corrupt that have utilized the Ukraine to play such a sympathy act where they want to get millions and billions of dollars in donations and everything. And they try to milk everything and say, these people don't know how to take a high road. They will always go for the bowels of everything. They will always reach for the lowest hanging fruit. Okay? That's how they are. And they'll play the sympathy card. Oh, poor Ukraine, and poor this and poor that. And it's just a bunch of garbage. Like I said, this is not about the citizens. This is about looking at the underground of Ukraine that is more foul and more despicable and more revolting than we could ever imagine. Right? They have laboratories there. They have bunkers with kidnapped children, sex trafficking. It goes on and on. It's horrifying. Okay? And all of that's kept right under the people's nose, completely unaware that that's happening. That's exactly why Russia has come in. Like I said, when you look at Russia and the Ukraine, you're looking at well over 800 years of history, probably even more than that. Back when the Ukraine was referred to as Khazaria, okay? Because that's what the Ukraine is. It's Khazaria. That's why there's a Khazarian mafia. Okay? Khazaria, now known as Ukraine, is now being completely and totally unweeded. All those weeds are being pulled out. Okay? But a lot of this mafia has spread across the planet. And one of their big nest eggs is Africa because of their resources. The resources on that continent is insane. I was driving all around. There's gold everywhere, right? There's fossils everywhere. There's all these things. If people came in and collected all these things, you'd have billions and billions and billions of dollars with all these priceless fossils everywhere. You'd have archaeological museums. You have resources everywhere. You have metals. You have gold everywhere, scattered about. You have ancient ruins all over the place, 200, 3,000, 500,000, 1,000,000 years old. People just walking on about, oh, yeah, it's no big deal, no big deal. No big deal. You guys have millions of years of history all around you. You guys have information about the ancient Anunnaki. You guys have information about the Nephilim. You guys have all this stuff just scattered about you. You're just walking around. I couldn't believe it. There's gold scattered everywhere. Right? That is the mineral-rich resource of Africa. Okay? It's a resource gold mine. Probably the greatest resource of the entire planet relating to all of these availabilities. So of course the corrupt want to put their hands in the pie with that. But it's all being taken down bit by bit. Okay? So they're not even really investing in Africa. They've had a hold on Africa for hundreds of years, guys. It's part of the narrative. Okay? That's not even the case. So let me just take a look at that. So the cards, we'll do a quick reading about Africa. Let's just take a look at the idea of Biden, quote unquote, the avatar, the card, right? Investing in Africa. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what the cards say, right? Because it is quite an interesting question nonetheless. But you can just see how it's a big facade, no doubt. Okay, so is Mr. Biden investing in Africa? Let's take a look at that facade narrative. Okay? It's nothing but a facade. Okay? Nothing but just a complete big joke. It's moving in the right way. Okay? So basically everything pertaining to Africa is going to start moving in the right way. Okay? There's healing. Healing is coming upon Africa. Okay? We're seeing growth. We're seeing restructuring coming together here. Okay? Behind the scenes, Africa has been in a bind with the corrupt for a very, 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 very long time. Okay? This is nothing new. They have had a stranglehold on Africa for such a long time. Okay? But there's about to be a change of ownership. There's about to be a shift that's taking place. There's about to be the idea of a big revolution taking place in Africa. I've talked about Africa so much. I've had so many South Africans on this channel asking me constantly about South Africa, right? And like I said, we're seeing some big changes, but nothing is as it seems pertaining to Africa. Oh yeah, we got investments in Africa, whatever. You guys, you corrupt, you have been tying a noose around Africa for centuries. Okay? This is not something new. Okay? But the good news is that the noose is about to be cut off its throat. Right? We're going to see some big, big changes taking place. And like I said, revolution needs to happen through Africa. And that's what's taking place right now. So thank you, Lydia, for your question. Tyrone, thanks for your donation. Tyrone says, hi, Brad. I've been hearing low-flying helicopters here in Niagara, Ontario, this past week after nightfall, wondering who or what they are doing. Okay. Well, they are military operations, so let's take a look at what the cards say about that. Low-flying helicopters in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Okay, so let's see, what are they up to? What are these low-flying helicopters up to? Okay, it has to do with dismantling, but I'll take a look here at the cards. Oh yeah, exactly. There's some old military bases around that area that are being dismantled. Okay, it may not be deep underground, but there's basically new management, new administration that's coming together, right? A lot of these old things, a lot of this thing that was once run by Dark Cabal is now being taken over. Okay, so there's a change of guard that's happening. Okay, so a lot of this has represented kind of a stranglehold, right, with old military presence because they were trying to use military presence through the Dark Cabal to try and enforce things, enforce mandates, enforce agendas, right? So there's quite a bind here that was taking place. I feel a lot of that bind is being cut off right now and saying, oh, here's some healing. Healing is coming together. So we're seeing a change of guard. We're seeing a change of administration, particularly for military personnel. And a lot of the personnel that once served the Dark Cabal is basically being ousted. Okay, they're being taken out in that way. So a lot of these low-flying helicopters is basically a cleanup crew. We could basically see some cleanup happening with a lot of these old military bases as well too. Like I said, I don't think they're deep underground. I think they're surface-based. And a lot of them are being cleaned out right now, right? So there's a house cleaning taking place. There's a reorientation of administration taking place. And a lot of the old administration that was bent to try and clamp down on everything is about to be taken out. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for that reading, for that. So Tyrone, very good question. A lot of cleanup happening across the planet for sure. Thank you. Okay, I had another one here. Let's see if I can go down and find it. Let's see. I think I missed that one. Elaine, I got your donation. Thank you for that. This one here is from Shash Universe. Shash Universe. Let me just go ahead and put my glasses on. I'm squinting at the screen again. Okay, that's better. So Shash Universe says, "Hi Brad, will Canada integrate more holistic practices with Western medicine soon?" Okay, I have looked at this previously as well too. Okay, it's going to take time before we get holistic medicine as the norm. Okay, it's going to take years. Pharmaceutical companies need to be thrown out of the mix here. Now again, there's going to be kind of like a soft approach of that with holistic medicine. I mean, what I'm doing with etherics is definitely holistic. Okay, it's spirit, it's spiritual technology, it's ancient technology, it's ancient science. It's exactly why one of the reasons I called it etherics is that we're looking at etheric science. We're looking at etheric technology. Okay, that's exactly why I wanted to call it etherics. Right, the X representing the idea of the crossing, bringing heaven onto earth and bringing earth up into that higher heaven. Okay, that's exactly why I called it etherics. So I'm doing that. Right, so that's etheric science. So it's going to take a little bit more time for that to be mainstream. I would love to say again, guys, oh yeah, pharmaceutical markets are going to plummet and the pharmaceutical companies are going to be gone and we're going to have all kinds of holistic medicine in its place. I would love to say that. Unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit more time, okay? Especially right now because there's so much exposure taking place upon the planet, where again, a lot of these pharmaceutical companies are basically in crosshairs right now, especially pertaining to everything relating to vaccines, the COVID-19 agenda, etc. So there's a lot of, they need to be in the exposure a little bit more, right? A lot of that stuff needs to be played out, and it's going to play out for years, right? It's not just, oh, we're Brad in the next 6 months, we won't even hear of COVID. No. Sorry to tell you that, guys, no. The whole idea of COVID is going to last this decade and the next in regards to discussions. Okay, this is going to be something that's going to be investigated in for over the next 20 years. Okay, now we're going to get a lot of stuff done between now and the next couple of years, of course, but there's going to be so much reflections on this whole COVID agenda. It's going to be investigated. Look at 9/11, guys. It's been well over 20 years and they're still investigating it, right? And here's something 100 times bigger than 9/11. Okay, that's going to be around for decades with discussion. Okay, it is something that has completely just transformed our entire landscape of living. Way more than 9/11 did, hundreds of times more. Okay, especially with people in the past. Years back, they would always say there's going to be some other gigantic event that's about 100 times bigger than 9/11 that people will be talking about for decades, and that's COVID. Okay, COVID was that big event, hundreds of times bigger than 9/11, and it's going to be talked about for decades. Okay, it's going to be resolved here in the next couple of years, but it's just going to be the circle of discussion for a very, very, very long time. Okay, so holistic practices, very slowly, it's going to start integrating, and I think that's exactly why this pharmaceutical exposure needs to come out, because people are going to start venturing away from that, and they're going to start looking for alternatives. Fortunately, a lot of the holistic practices are still going to be seen as alternatives and not mainstream. But people are looking for new answers because they're seeing how these pharmaceutical companies are poisoning people with their pills, with everything, with their prescriptions, with their vaccinations, with everything. People are seeing how they're being poisoned by these companies. And they're going to start venturing away, and they're going to be looking for alternatives. So holistic medicine will certainly be one of those alternatives, right? Energy healing. All these different forms of alternative, again, as we call it, alternative. But really, it's natural science. It's natural medicine. Okay, and people are going to start moving into that. This is why it's a golden time for etherics, right? To come in and say, hey guys, here's an alternative about getting an ether bed, about using the healing code cards, about using healing code apparel, right? All of this, and this is going to help to regenerate yourself. But I'm also doing it kind of on the down low as well too, because I'm not looking to get in a fight with the pharmaceuticals because I simply would not survive, right? So I'm keeping it in the down low and I'm keeping it still respectable. But nonetheless, just the example of what I'm doing, is going to be part of that alternative therapy, right? And a lot of other people are putting together some great things as well. There's, again, quantum technology that's going to be coming, energy medicine that's coming, holistic medicine, all different types. And just continue to support those people, right? Continue to support. If you're getting some great work with people who's like a herbalist or a naturopath, or working with Qigong, working with any other types of energy or holistic medicine, support them, okay? Because that's the medicine that actually makes a difference. The garbage that you get from these pharmaceutical companies are just slowly poisoning you, right? Start working with natural medicine, start working with herbalism, start working with homeopathy, start working with all these different things that can really make a difference. Like I said, I'm still in the process of bringing out the ether beds. Those are going to be a game changer as well too. But support the alternatives. That's what I would suggest, because they really should be the mainstream. And unfortunately, right now, they're not. Okay, it just takes time for those things to change. Very good question, though. Thank you, Shash. Okay. So let me just go through the list here a bit more. Okay, here's an interesting question here from Fiona. Fiona says, late to the chat, but Brad, what is happening on a 4D level with regards to the regressives? Is it correct that they can no longer work on a 3D plane, but can in 4D? You're absolutely correct, yes, Fiona. Because I've talked about this quite commonly in the past. A lot of the regressives are being forced out of the star system. Okay, a lot of them aren't even on the planet anymore. So we had a lot of regressive string pullers, we could say, right? Puppeteers. They were the puppet masters, and a lot of them were basically underground in the earth. But this goes back quite a few years ago. They've been removed from the earth quite some time ago. Okay, hardly any of them are on the earth anymore. Basically, I've also looked into the idea of those kind of in pocket dimensions, right? Where they were basically trying to pull strings as well too, pull psychic strings, right? So they were basically trying to disrupt. I refer to them as disruptors. Okay, they've been pulled out as well too. A lot of them are being pulled out. So Earth is being cleaned up. It's just it's basically we're going into this gigantic garden bed and we're just pulling out everything. Okay, we got a lot of workers, but this garden bed is friggin' huge. It's gigantic. Okay, and we got workers. More workers are coming in all the time, just trying to unweed and pull out all these things. It's so incredibly large. We've had to have our off-worlders help to pull out these weeds. We can't even do it ourselves. This problem is just so huge, right? So this is exactly why there's a lot of volunteers, off-worlders, that are coming here, working quietly behind the scenes, and they're helping humanity pull out these weeds, because it's such a huge job. This planet has been corrupted by very, very sinister beings for many thousands of years, and they have made a mess, an unbelievable mess. And they have touched every single facet of life. They've touched everything. Looking into our education, our politics, our finances, our food, our water, our air, right? Our structures, how we're educated, how we're taught, everything. Everything's just infiltrated. The astral plane. Everything is touched by them. Every single thing. They did not leave one stone left unturned with their corruption, with them trying to be dominant. They covered all the bases. They did not do a sloppy job, and I'll give them that. They didn't do a sloppy job corrupting everything. They corrupted everything. Everything. Nothing was left untouched by them. Every stone. Corrupt, 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 corrupt. Every single thing. And that's a huge garden bed. Okay? And humanity, many of us still very much asleep, a lot of the sleepers here, don't know what's going on. And so we need help. It's exactly why the earth has put out this call and saying, come and incarnate here. We need a lot of work. This is a huge garden bed. And every single thing in this garden bed has been corrupted by darkness. Come here, come incarnate. We need your help. We need the higher angelic forces to come here and incarnate into human bodies, and let's clean this planet up, because she's a very special planet. So that's exactly what we've been doing. Okay? But it is such an enormous job that we need armadas of off-world spacecraft and federations to be here and to help clean up the rest as well too. It's too huge. It's too huge of a job, right? Again, like that poster that's behind me here. Okay, seeing all these roots being revitalized, being transformed, the seeds being planted, so that the mother can now bring forward all that love and harmony comes forward. Okay? It's exactly what's going on. It's a big, enormous job. The good news is we're going to succeed. Bad news is it's going to take some time. Okay? But we're making headway. We're doing very, very well. Like I said, we've pretty much already won this entire battle. But there's just so much cleanup. There's so much work to do. This planet needs to be completely and totally scrubbed clean because it is filthy. It's filthy as beep beep. Okay? It's filthy as frick. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. So we're getting help behind the scenes to help out with that. Okay? So that's what I can say in regards to your question. Okay? So in the 4D plane, yes, 4D plane is just referring to the astral. Okay? So basically, guys, we're already living in the astral ourselves. Like I told you, the third density plane, the physical plane, is much more of the artificial plane. It's much more technologically created. It's just a small pocket of the astral plane that has been condensed. And that's what represents the physical universe. It's very, very, very tiny. If we look at the astral plane, it's hundreds of times bigger. If we're looking at the astral universe in that way, hundreds of times bigger than the physical universe. Massive. Okay. Then we look at the causal plane, which is even bigger than the astral plane. Okay. So yes, there's a lot of other planes that exist that are far greater in mass. It's just far more broader in regards to the capability. Physical plane is very, very limited. There's only so much stuff you can do here. When you go beyond that and go into the astral plane and causal plane, etc., you do all kinds of incredible things there. Right? I've been to both of those planes, and they're amazing. You can see everything. You can witness everything. Right? When you go into beingness, you're even going beyond the mind, and you're just seeing everything. You're seeing everything in the grand scope. You are awareness. There's nothing greater than that, because that's who you are. You are awareness. That is who and what you are. Sunflower, thank you for your donation. Appreciate it. Love, compassion, respect. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. We're going to probably take about 2 more questions, guys. We're almost out of time. We're just going to go to 12:15. Okay. Let's see if I can do some bullet round answers to some questions here. Okay, Barbara asks, question, Brad, in regards to the quantum financial system, how will this look better? It's not going to be unequal. Okay, it's not going to be corrupt. It's going to be the idea where the nature of interest is going to fade out. Okay, basically there will still be fees and so forth, but it's not going to lead to the idea of constantly robbing people of money out of their pocket. Okay, so you'll pay fees for things, right? Even banks will still get fees for things. They're basically just going to be looking at fees and not interests. Okay, so a lot of things are going to be changed. The idea of income tax will be abolished. Okay, so basically anything that relates to taxes and interest are going to be a thing of the past. Debt collection is going to be a thing of the past. There will be no more debt. It's going to be a debtless system, because in that sense everything's really decentralized. That's really what this quantum financial system represents. Okay, so guys, I'm just giving you an elevator version because I want to try and see if we can tackle more questions before we're out of time. Okay, so Barbara, that's what I can share for you in a nutshell. Okay. Lucas asks, does the World Cup event have something to do with this global process? Well, it's going to be a stage. I think it will be a stage for something that will lead into a greater revealing, but it's always going to be brought out in code. Okay, it's never just going to be plainly shown to you, right? If we're looking at the World Cup and maybe the advertisements that come together or events taking place before, during, or after, it's always going to be in code. Okay, it's never going to be plainly described to you. But things in code, yes, that may represent the idea of transition taking place, new shifts taking place. Yes, right? So I think we probably see things, but written in code. People have to decipher it, right? Just like they do in Super Bowls as well, too, in the years past, where they had like these cabal ceremonies and halftime shows and all that. Yep. They'll probably do similar things to the World Cup because you have half the population of the planet watching that. So that's an opportune time to deliver messages, but again, in code, right? Let's go down here a bit more. Okay, Twin Twix 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 says, is the Artemis or the Moon mission, the Moon and Beyond mission, legitimate? No, but we'll take a look at that through the cards. The Artemis mission, is it legitimate? So basically what I'm getting right off the bat is no, that's not. So let's see what the cards say here quickly. Yeah, definitely a facade. Okay, so definitely just something that may represent a change of guard, perhaps. And that's kind of the feeling here. Here comes up the counter forces. Okay, so I think the counter forces are using that for another measure. And it's representing a change of plans. It may represent the idea of exposing, again, the false Hollywood kind of space programs and putting something new in its place, right? So they're using the idea of the Artemis mission, the moon landing, and all that stuff, going to the moon and back as some particular type of agenda to shift the guard in that way, right? And then coming back and trying to deliver more false images of the moon because it's trying to further a new agenda, okay? So I do feel like, again, it's not a legitimate agenda, but it's something that is actually meant to be used on a positive level to shift the guard, to change the way of the guard in that way. And that we may actually in the future be able to go to the moon, but it's too soon at this time. Maybe 2025, maybe 2024, we'll see. But it feels like this is just part of an alibi to bring in a change of guard, to see a transformation taking place here. Okay, so basically phasing out a lot of the Hollywood space agencies and maybe actually having an actual space agency coming together that may be, again, SSP run. Okay, so something very big is being used as an agenda to change the guard, to expose something, so that there can be an opportune time for greater perspective and exposure, perhaps to extraterrestrial presence, extraterrestrial disclosure. So they're using that as an alibi. They're using that kind of as a bait and switch. But it's not a legitimate event at all. All right, so let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay. So just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just going to the list here. Okay, this one is from Percy. Percy says, "Hi Brad, there are many people in the UK striking, not going to work, protesting at poor pay and conditions. Can you see these resolved soon?" Okay, so let's take a look at the resolution pertaining to these protests in the UK. So how about we ask the question, are these protests going to bring about a strong resolve? Okay, protests in the UK, will this bring about a strong resolve, an accomplishment for the people? Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, so people are doing this because they're fed up. They're fed up. They're letting their voice be heard. This is representing an opportunity for them to share their voice. They're extremely upset about how everything is going down in the UK. I don't need to take you guys on a tour of it. You can see it everywhere, right? So they're extremely upset. They're extremely broken by this. They're upset. They're freaked out. They've had enough of this. Okay, they're using this as a platform to meeting their demands. Okay. Something is going to be given back to them. Okay, this is going to reap a reward. Now, it's probably going to take a couple of months, but there's going to be a reward that is going to be reaped out of people coming together in protest to let their voices be heard, because this is an organic platform. It's not staged in any way. This is a very unique platform that people have created. Okay, so it is a platform where people can speak their mind, where they can protest, where they can let them know we've had enough. Okay, and that's going to bring about some very powerful exchange for them. Okay. While they're doing this, they're getting reward coming back. So yes, I think that this is going to be very positive and lead into something that will represent a positive reward. Just like what we had here with the Freedom Convoy here in Canada. Because of that, a lot of things shifted in Canada. That was basically a very well thought out convoy, very well thought out agenda, because it made changes. Okay. And I feel like what the people in the UK are doing with their protests and their rallies is going to bring about very positive changes as well too. What they're putting out, they're going to get reward back. All right. Very good. Thank you very much, Percy. Okay, Milk Star Fashion says, "Hi Brad, can you look at short food shortages in the US?" Guys, food shortages are engineered. Okay? When you're looking at food shortages, these are again just small areas that are being impacted, and they're being done in that way just to create scarcity. Okay, these are scarcity tactics. These are scarcity events to give the impression that people are running low on food. The United States is not low on food. Okay? France is not low on food, but they're using scarcity tactics to make you believe that they are. Right? Everything pertaining to availability with food is still there, but they want to use that to create scarcity, to create fear, to try and get people back into control. This again is all part of the official narratives. It's not to say that certain small areas can't be affected, but in regards to countrywide food shortages, it's not happening. Okay, so again, everything is still moving along, but they will try and give the impression that food shortages are taking place to create scarcity tactics, to create fear, to try and control people. Okay, so phase that out. Most important thing is get behind your farmers. Get behind everyone who is a food supplier. Show your support in that way. Take good care of them. Send love and happiness into your prayers through them. Right? Let them be covered with the blanket of your love and support. Okay, so get behind your farmers. Get behind food suppliers. And again, create rallies as well too, protecting them. Because that's just what they try to do. They try to find these little areas, and the media tries to create these little stories. Oh yeah, guys, there's a food shortage. There's no food shortage. What are you talking about? Right? And they try to spin that. They try to think, oh yeah, the entire United States is short on food. All of Canada. They were trying to do that with Canada too as well. Right? Making us feel like we're short on food. We've gone to all these markets. There's been no food shortages whatsoever. Okay? So like I said, it's just a lot of it is propaganda. A lot of it is fear. They try to do it to try and keep people in fear. So get out of that old rhetoric, because that's nothing but a very bad narrative. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to end with Sensai's question here at the bottom of the chat. Sensai says, "Hi Brad, is there going to be a global event to awake the masses galactic-wise?" Okay, so basically you could say an off-world event. Is there looking to be an off-world event that is going to take place that will help to awaken the masses? So let's take a look at that. Okay. So let's take a look at that. Let's say maybe for the next year, are we going to see anything between now and the end of 2023 representing some type of global mass awakening that is instituted by galactics, by off-worlders, okay? The human guardians, okay? The counterforces on a cosmic level, the cosmic counterforces. So let's take a look. Okay, well, here's the good news. Yes, okay? There is looking to be something like that of a mass awakening to come together, but it's not going to be so obvious as to what we think, okay? Basically, off-worlders aren't just going to come in, take themselves out of a pocket dimension and just show their spacecraft everywhere, okay? That's not what they're looking to do. That's bringing about the wrong kind of resolve here, okay? So basically, there needs to be a balance point. There needs to be a tipping point here, which means it needs to come at the right time. Okay, so we're looking at between now at the end of 2022 and 2023. So it's an opportunity, okay? But things are just kind of still wobbling about the scale. Everything needs to kind of be in balance. And when that happens, then there will most certainly be a very powerful world transformational event. But it will be universal, as to not scare anybody, but just to open people's eyes. And it will be orchestrated by off-worlders, by the human guardians, by the cosmic counterforces, okay? They will try to smear this campaign. Okay, a lot of dark corrupt in that sense will try to smear this campaign thinking it's nothing. They will try and just throw wrenches into the works about it. Okay, but that's not going to do any good. Whatever is going to happen is going to be much more universal. It's going to be much more tolerable for people to swallow. It's not saying, oh my God, extraterrestrials are coming here and they're going to start landing on the lawns and everything. It's not about that, right? This is going to be very much a human grand awakening, okay? It'll be brought in human terms. It will be brought here in regards to an Earth-like compliance, where people are not being freaked out because they're seeing a bunch of ships in the sky, okay? So it'd be more important to say that the off-worlders are giving this to their contacts on the Earth and saying, we're preparing for a very big awakening, okay? So from what I can see here in the deck, so it looks like there's something planned for 2023 for that. Some type of large awakening that is earthly based. Okay, people will be able to swallow and digest. It's going to be hard to accept at first, but it's going to be accepted. It's not about decloaking ships. Okay, it's not about them landing on the lawns. More so in that sense, they're still doing a hands-off policy, but they're working with their earth contacts, the ground crew, to bring about this gigantic triggering of an awakening. What that is, I'm not being told what it is, but it's the idea of something that is quite monumental. Okay, something very, very transformative and explosive. My feeling is it's probably just more exposures. Gigantic exposures, maybe exposures of certain systems, and saying what we once thought was good is actually bad. And we're going to see that on a much more grander stage. What we thought was good is actually bad. And of course, people who have already been awoken already know this. Okay, but again, this is just stuff for the sleepers. Okay, so the sleepers are going to move into greater awakening in 2023. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to see much more percentages increase pertaining to sleepers becoming awakeners very slowly. And they're going to start telling people, and then those people will start telling people, etc., etc. So it's all part of a very big chain reaction event that is looking to take place in 2023 that will represent, again, an earthly, grounded, based exposure orchestrated by off-worlders to plant into the ground crew so that they can make this happen. Okay? So sometime between now and the end of 2023, whatever this ground awakening is, again, probably just a big ground awakening of greater exposure, is meant to happen. Okay? When that happens, that's partially, I would say that's pretty much orchestrated by off-worlders to give to the ground crew, the counter forces. Okay? Thank you guys for all of your questions today. I'll be back tomorrow for New Earth TV Live, where we'll be doing meditation, distance healing, and more Q&A. Okay? So feel free to join in tomorrow for New Earth TV Live here on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Take care, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Be well. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.